Jennifer from Culturally Obsessed, and we are on the set of Roadhead today in the middle of the desert. I have no idea where we are. We might get killed. But we're going to talk to some cool actors. So watch.
Hi, you too. Pleasure.
And you play Stephanie, which I heard, which is really funny. It's the name people always call me. I don't know why I get mixed up for Stephanie. And my sister-in-law is Stephanie. But I get Stephanie a lot. It's
Interesting. I don't know what that means. I can
either.
kind of see it though.
Yeah, Stephanie, I don't know. But that's what everyone really wants to know. No, I love that you're playing this strong woman of color in a horror movie, because there is, like you said, there's not enough of that.
I've never seen that.
No, not really in horror.
Which is kind of crazy, because what year is it?
I know. I was like 2019.
And I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's not a common thing at all.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. There's actually like a documentary you should see called Horny Water about like minorities in horror movies, and they kind of go through the history of it and how things are changing. It's very interesting. Cool. It's on Shudder.
And I feel like there's this kind of ongoing conversation I've always heard of like how a person of color would actually act in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like there's a comedic thing. I think I remember from like the Scream movies or something. There was always like a black character who was like, that's some bullshit. I would never do that in a movie. Like, come on. So it's really fun to see my character because she's like super smart and savvy.
It has like a sense of reason to like why.
Yeah, it might be satisfying for audience members of color to be like, that's what I would do. I mean, I don't know. Who knows if that's real? No one knows what anybody would actually do in these situations. Yeah. It's crazy. But it's kind of a fun little joke to have with the audience.
I'm excited to see it. I mean, first of all, the title is amazing. I'm glad you like it. I love the title. The first thing when Michael said, I'm like, Roadhead. I'm like, amazing. And I'm a fan of David Del Rio from his acting, and also Sick for Toys I've seen.
Oh, cool.
So I was very excited about this.
Cool.
How was working with him?
Working with him is incredible. David and I have been friends for years.
Yeah, you took it.
Before, you know, it's funny actually, we were talking about like, I was like, do you remember when we met? And he's like, no. I met him, he was with our acting teacher, she later became mine, but she was his, another really super close friend, and her husband. It was the four of them at an umami burger, and I was their waitress. And the acting teacher has and had a skill of kind of seeing like, when you see like a really authentic good person, they're in a position that's like, why are you doing this? Yeah. And you like read into them and kind of dig it. She is one of those. So she was like, what's your deal? Who are you? You know? And we connected, and that was like 7 years ago, I think. And so now to be the lead in his feature, the biggest feature he's ever directed so far. I know they're gonna get bigger and bigger, but it's just this really fun play of the universe.
It's funny too, with Damien also, the casting director, saw him he was working a bar or a restaurant, he said?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that story.
At 33 Taps, and she's like, you know what, you look like you do something different.
Yeah, Damien is so special.
We both went to NYU, but I was filming, he was acting.
Oh, cool.
But I know that feel like I've worked in cosmetics. I went to film school and then worked in cosmetics for years, selling lipsticks. But I think...
Love a good lipstick.
Yeah, me too. I do love a good lipstick. But when it's true, when you see like that authentic personality, something kind of, especially in actors, I think, there's something.
Yeah, you can kind of see that sparkle in someone's eye when they're like a real one, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was an amazing shoot, because you guys have been 3 weeks in this desert, and it's been hot, to say the least.
It's been a little toasty.
How is work? Did it add to your character at least? Because it's been.
It did.
That's an intense climate to be.
It's helpful to have the character be going through what the actor is going through. You know, I always say I want to act as little as possible. If I have to act like I just had a big meal, it would be easier for me to do if I just have some food before I shoot it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for this, you know, the characters are running through the desert, hot and stressed out. So we were able to use a lot of it, a lot of it, which was great. But yeah, it was challenging. You know, the camera's hot. The camera itself gets hot. So the DP's holding it there in the beating down sun. We're all trying to hydrate. And filmmaking in and of itself is a highly stressful endeavor. So to add that element of extreme conditions, it really shows the girls from the women, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I like that you said girls from the women. It's true. It's absolutely true. And I feel like there's like a lot of commodity on this set, which is the thing I kind of like about indies is like you get good people because usually, not always, but because you have to work.
Well, you're not here for the money.
Yeah, exactly. No, so you actually like the work. Because there's definitely movies people do for paid. That's fine. People need to get paid.
Sure.
But then there's the ones like you're like, I dig this. This is something special. I want to work that much.
Luckily, I actually haven't had the experience on film sets of people just being there because it's a job.
Yeah.
I think you see that a lot more on TV sets. Unfortunately, but certainly in the lower budget, world. But in general, I really think that filmmakers are people who chose to do what they chose to do because they love it.
Yeah, don't choose it for money is a silly...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a labor of love. I think even if you are being paid a lot of money, it's still like laborious, you know?
My God, yeah. And to get something made is a miracle.
Yeah.
And it's hard work.
Yeah. So it's beautiful, beautiful human beings. This job, oh man, maybe more than any other, I would have to think about it, but I think probably more than any other, has brought people into my life that I'll be friends with for the rest of my life.
That.
Yeah.
I love because there are those film sets you get so close to people, you're like, this is my friend forever.
Yeah, which, let's just talk about Damien for a second.
I talked to him for 2 seconds, I'm like, I love you.
Oh my God.
I love him.
Right?
Yeah, he's great.
He's a light. He's like a star.
Yeah, he is.
He's a star.
And he has I was like, yeah, you have that like movie star essence. So I see why that casting director was like.
Yeah, he's a doll. So he and I are very, very close.
I love him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to show off your little cut you got here.
Yeah, you should see the other guy though.
Yeah, that's not. That's just from. That's just from. That's not even from the movie. That's just she passed by some sharp object today.
Oh gosh. See, Stephanie's pretty tough. Elizabeth?
Not so.
Yeah, no.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, not at all. I'm like, I need a personal day.
I like you. I would hear your advice if you're running from a serial killer. Stay calm, which I think is perfect advice. If you
gotta stay calm. You have to try to think clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, in any and all situations, once the central nervous system, the limbic system is like, we're in fight or flight, we're in danger, the capacity of your brain really shrinks down to this tunnel vision. So if you can try to find your breath and then track it, then you'll kind of open up your brain to more possibilities. And there's science behind that.
Yeah,
a lot of
I
it.
do meditation and
yeah, me too.
TM.
Oh, cool.
I love TM, so I'm definitely into that.
Yes, I'm a big meditator as well.
Yeah, it really helps.
Stephanie's definitely not.
But it's okay. Stephanie is still, she has her
I
own
love
strength.
her for it.
Yeah.
I mean, but 90% of the world is not.
Yeah.
But she has her own way of surviving. She's somebody who's really in survival.
Yeah.
And I just love people like that.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody's going to be, like, sitting cross-legged, like, chanting Om on the top of the mountain.
No, you can't. No, yeah.
Some people are, like, dealing with some real shit and they're in the trenches.
Yeah.
And I love those people.
Yeah, me too. Like, survivors. Leslie, I want to ask you, I'm always curious, what made you want to be an actor growing up? Was there, like a movie or an actor, or you just had it in you, or?
I grew up raised on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Like, Oprah raised me. She was my second mom. I feel so close to her. I can't wait to meet her and tell her.
You will.
Thank you. But she would, big actors would roll through on that show. And I was little. I was, maybe 8 years old when I decided, I wanted to be an actor. And I didn't understand, these are people who are coming on to promote their latest movie. I was just watching it for what it was. Yeah. And of course I was little, so I didn't see any ego in it. Yeah. It wasn't about, status and all. I was just like, wow, those people seem big and joyful and collaborative and really excited about life. And then they would talk about, because they were on the Oprah Show, they would talk about their humanitarian efforts. And it'd be Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks talking about how they built a well or a school. And I was like, that seems pretty.
I always think that's
great.
The best thing when someone's at that level where they could actually give back is the best thing they could do with their platform.
Yeah, you kind of have to, otherwise you're a real piece of shit.
And there are some piece of shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have that type of platform, I think, without really knowing it at the time I was little.
Yeah.
But it also seemed fun. All the other kids wanted to be like a race car driver or a ballerina, and I couldn't decide. I wanted to do all those things. So I figured if I'm an actor,
You can.
I can be everything.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for when this comes out. I told Amy and I'm telling Michael when there's a carpet, I'm at the carpet. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe below, and check out these other fantastic videos.